Next, I will share with you an example of how important it can be for leaders to really understand the networks of their departments or teams. This example is drawn from a real-life group of people who work at the Pentagon. All the names have been changed to protect anonymity. So Roger is a new leader of a department within the Pentagon, and he has been charged with getting the team to work together better because they've had some difficulties working together and being successful. Roger asked everyone to complete a network survey that asked them who amongst their coworkers they trusted to do a competent job and also trusted personally to basically have their back. And this network image that you're looking at is showing all of the relationships where both parties said that they felt a sense of trust for the other party. So based on the image of the network that I showed you, and I've also copied the image into our Moodle shell so that you can go back and look at it, who do you think are the powerful players in this organization? And how did you identify them? How healthy is the organization overall? And what, if anything, would you advise Roger to do? Now, I'm going to show you an image of the social network that's been arranged in a different manner. Again, I want you to think about who are the powerful players in this organization, how healthy is the organization, and what, if anything, would you advise Roger to do? And we're going to look and see if your advice changes based on this new image. So as you can see, this image is much more revealing than the image where all of the names were arranged in a circle. This is called a graph theoretic layout, and what it's doing is trying to accomplish a few things. Number one, it is putting the distance between each person that's connected, that line, trying to keep the line to be the same. Number two is trying not to have any points on top of each other. But number three, the most important thing, is it is putting the more central people in the network, the people that are connected to folks on different sides of the networks, in more central positions. So you can see now that Conrad, who you may not have identified before, is clearly a powerful player in this organization simply because he bridges between two pretty well-defined groups. So even though Conrad only has 4 trust ties, since he's centrally located and connects the 2 separate groups, he has a very powerful brokerage position. Second of all, you'll notice that there are 2 distinct clumps in this network. And I know that these clumps represent people that formerly worked in the military, the folks in the upper right corner of the network, and then our civilian workers. And so the Conrad in this network is what we would call somebody who is a central player. They act as brokers between otherwise unconnected groups. You can see that without Conrad, that group would be those 2 groups would be completely disconnected. They have access to diverse groups, departments, and employee types because of that brokerage position, which means that, number one, they may be valuable champions to help management gain buy-in for major initiatives. So Roger should make sure to convince Conrad of any changes that he wants to implement, and then Conrad can help him to convince the folks on the other side of the network. However, these central players could also become bottlenecks. They may get overwhelmed with the demands on their time because so many people are trying to work through them, or they may decide to take advantage of their powerful position and maybe not pass on all the information between the 2 groups. So you can see as a manager, it does Roger very good to understand that Conrad is a central player in the network and that he needs to work to try to bridge the divide between the two components in the network better. I hope that this example helps you to understand how it is important for leaders to understand the networks between their employees, and I hope that you find it helpful in your future career.